I've got a lot of revenge on my mind for a few people. It's like, I ain't losing to these. Come on! Yeah! Hold on to your seatbelt because it's about to get bumpy. Boys and girls, so welcome to the player ratings. Now, I would love to have done this from outside St James's Park, but the weather is absolutely horrendous and there's no way I am standing outside there in this weather. But listen, we got the victory. Opening day of the season, we have got the 3 points. Now, we did not play that great today. In the first half, we were not at the races, to be quite honest with you. I felt that we were in control of the ball, but we were very slow in the way that we were building up the play. I felt that we lacked that injection, that killer pass. We went in at half time, it could only get better, and in the second half it did get better, a hell of a lot better. We started to move the ball quicker, we started to play around a little bit more fluid, and we started to inject that pace into key areas. We also started to press from the front and we started to get in their faces. Now, Jonjo Shelvey, who was causing a lot of problems in the first half, he came off injured at the start of the second half, and I feel that was a big turning point in the game as well. And Newcastle kind of lost that creative player, the one that can get his foot on the ball and open up the door. And after that, I felt that we were in full control of the game, and at any moment we could have just stepped it up and got more goals. The one goal that we did get, it actually started because of the way that we pressed and the way that Ainsley Maitland shut down the ball. Brilliant pass inside to Aubameyang, and listen, that's Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang all over. Clinical, lethal in front of goal. One touch over the keeper, and that is all it takes. That could be the big difference between finishing outside of the top four this season and finishing in it. Because when you look at the strike force that other teams in and around us have got, most notably Manchester United and Chelsea, we have the better strikers. You're talking about players that actually didn't get on the pitch today. You've got Alexandre Lacazette, you've got Lucas Torreira. Those are two players that are going to come back within the side. Nicola Pepe, he got his debut. So did Ceballos. Martinelli, he came on as well for the last 5 minutes. I thought he done well. Mkhitaryan was the one player that really frustrated me today. I don't think he played well in any way, shape or form. And it really starts to baffle me as to how he ends up on the pitch for so long, let alone on the pitch full stop. How he ends up there for 85 minutes, I still do not know. But like I said, it's 3 points in the bag. It's an opening win on the opening day of the season. So I am going to go and get into the player ratings. Starting off in goal, Leno. And I feel that he will not have more of a comfortable afternoon than the one he had today. I felt that when he had to distribute the ball, he did it perfectly. When he had to catch the ball, he did it perfectly. Same with the punching. It was a pretty standard, straightforward performance. And because he didn't have a lot to do, I will give him a 6. But that was not based on the fact that he did anything wrong. It was just that he had a quiet afternoon. And the simple stuff, he done. Going to go into the back four. First of all, on the right-hand side, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And there was a couple of moments where it looked like he had that lapse of concentration. But what he did do for the goal was absolutely superb. We already know that he's a stopgap. He's not a right back. And when Hector Bellerin's fit and ready, he will be coming in the side. But it was a decent enough performance. And I'll give Ainsley Maitland-Niles a 7 for today. In the centre-back role, first of all, I'm going to go with Socrates. And I thought he was very solid, very commanding. Led the back line. And I feel that today was a good day because Newcastle's strike force was just not that good. They will have harder days at the office, but it was straightforward. And I'll give Socrates a 7. Alongside him, Calum Chambers. And again, decent performance. Distribution was all right. Alongside Socrates, I thought he done really well in there. And, you know, the same as Socrates, they will have harder days at the office. But that was decent. So I'll give Calum Chambers a 7 as well. In the left-back position, Monreal. again, this is the same kind of situation as Ainsley, Maitland-Niles. When Kieran Tierney's fit, then he's going to be the left back inside, and Nacho Monreal is not going to be there. I actually think Nacho might even get sold in this window, because the European window is still open for another 3 weeks or so. And we don't need 3 left backs, and I feel that he possibly could be the one that ends up leaving. But today, pretty solid, got forward when he had to. Couple of sloppy moments in there, moans a few times and gets easily dispossessed. But it was a decent enough performance, and I'll give the whole of the back line actually a 7. Going to move into the midfield pairing. First of all, Granit Xhaka. And yeah, it was a decent enough performance, to be quite honest with you. I felt that he was not caught in possession today. I don't think the pressing was that great in terms of what Newcastle were doing. But he did what he had to do, and that's the main thing. And he led by example, and he was captain out there today, I believe. So, yeah, Granit Xhaka, I'll give him a 7. Guendouzi alongside him. Now, I don't agree with Guendouzi and Xhaka being the midfield pivot. Those two, for me, just don't work and don't kind of give you that fluidity that, you know, other midfield pivots do. But for this game, it did work, because Newcastle, like I said, they were not that great in midfield. Their pressing was not that good. But we know that this is not going to be a permanent, you know, fixture. But Guendouzi got himself about, and he worked hard, and he done, you know, what he needed to do. So, again, I'll give him a 7 as well. Going to move into the attacking 3. First of all, Henrik Mcateer Ian, and that was a dreadful, dreadful performance, to be quite honest with you. He got into so many good positions, and there was moments where you're thinking, right, okay, this looks good. And his passing was off. It was, you know, going out for goal kicks and throw-ins, and he had a shot in the first half that I think nearly went over the Gallagher end. It just was not good. And like I said, I don't know how he ends up on the pitch for so long. It's so frustrating. I'm giving Mkhitaryan Ian a 4 for his performance today. I thought that was poor. Next up, we're going to have Joe Willock, and I think that he was really good today. I felt that he played really, really well. I think he run out of steam just before he came off, but that's understandable. He's still a young lad, still trying to get up to pace with things in the Premier League. It's a bit different at this level compared to under 23s, but decent performance for his first Premier League outing. And you know what? I'm going to give him a 7 as well. Next up, we have Rhys Nelson, and again, another decent performance. Same as Joe Willock, kind of burnt out towards the end when he came off. But you know what? There were moments when I wanted him to be a little bit more direct and a little bit more ruthless. But he put himself about, and he worked hard, and he stretched the play. And I'll give Rhys Nelson a 7 as well. Up front, as the striker, we have Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang, and because he is the match winner and the one that scored the all-important goal, he is my man of the match. Wasn't that great overall when you look at it, but like I said, he's a striker and he's the match winner, and that's what gets you the ratings, because at the end of the day, you can have 89 quiet minutes, but if for one moment in that game you do something that wins you it, you don't care about the previous 89. He worked hard. We can't fault that. I just felt that there was a little bit something missing from him today. But his overall work rate and everything, you can't fault that. And the goal we did get, absolutely superb. And that is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang all over. One touch over the keeper in the net. And I'm going to give him an 8. Going to go to the substitutes. First of all, Nicola Pepe. And it was a pretty straightforward performance. There was a couple of moments out there where you look and you think, wow, this guy is going to be something for us. A couple of little moments, turns and little injection of pace and whatnot. And he's only going to get better. Once he gets minutes into his legs and he starts to integrate fully within the team, I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'll give Nicola Pepe a 6. Next player who was in there was Cabellos, one of the new guys as well. And ironic, really, that his first touch went astray and you're thinking, oh no. But after that, I felt he done well, and he was quite controlling and did what he needed to do. And just like Pepe, he will only get better, so he gets a 6 as well. Martinelli, the other one that came on, and yeah, he's just got something about him, this lad. And I really like the look of him, and it was good for him to get his Premier League debut and good for him to get some minutes under his belt. But the fact that he only did play 5 minutes, so can't really give him more than 5 straight down the middle. Manager's rating, Unai Emery, I'll give him a 7. He kind of went with what he had to go with. We already know that players are just starting to integrate back within the side. We already know that there's players coming back from international duty, and we are only going to get stronger. But he picked a winning lineup, and that is all that matters as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, those are the ratings that I'll give him. In terms of the fans, I'll give him a 10, to be quite honest, because we come up here all the way to Newcastle. It's the furthest trip in the season, first game, and weather's horrendous. But we are here, our voices were heard, and hopefully it continues throughout the course of the season. So there we go. That is it for the player ratings, done and dusted. 1 game down, 1 victory, and we've actually won away from home, and I am smiling. We've got a long journey home. There's going to be previews this week to the Burnley game that's coming up next. Of course, there'll be player ratings after that one. And there'll be some other bits and pieces on my channel. Keep an eye out, because my first episode, DTFC, Blood Brothers, is very, very fast approaching, and I cannot wait for you to see just what we're up to. Yeah, listen, game 1 done, victory 1 over and done. 3 points in the bag, that's all I care about. I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.